All right, buckle up, guys. Here we go. Have you seen the absolute chaos unfolding with Trump's latest cabinet pick? I mean, this surprise announcement, it is dropping like a hammer. And you better believe that the deep state, they're losing their collective minds over it, guys. You got Trump making moves, and every time a new cabinet nomination hits, the establishment scrambles to try to stop it. Pipe bombs, threats, smear campaigns, you name it. Oh, but this time they pushed a little bit too far. A pipe bomb threat over a Trump pick? I mean, are you kidding me, guys? Now, we're talking about Pete Hegseth, who might be getting the boot while Ron DeSantis is waiting in the wings. Can you guess why, though? Can you guess why Pete Hegseth might be getting the boot over Ron DeSantis? Because the deep state is desperate to control whoever ends up in Trump's cabinet. They know a MAGA powerhouse in charge spells their doom. They're seeing firings, backstabbing, and sabotage attempts left and right. But Trump's not backing down, guys. In fact, he's ready to clean house and kick the deep state out for good. And this is breaking news. And the battle for Trump's cabinet members, it's like nothing we've seen before. It's not just politics, folks. This is war. Trump is dropping announcements and the media just can't handle it. They thought that they would stop him with threats, but the MAGA train is full speed ahead, guys. So get ready, because Trump's second term, it's coming, and the deep state, I don't know, they're about to get exposed like never before.
So bottom line is he's hired a cabinet of folks who are in the shaking up business. And you got Elon and Vivek on the top trying to figure out what can be cut and what can't.
One of the biggest surprises from President-elect Trump, his pick for Labor Secretary, pro-union former Congresswoman Lori Chavez-DeRemer. Needless to say, guys, the woman rattled a lot of cages when she was announced as Donald Trump's Labor Secretary, especially when it came to big business. In fact, Chavez-DeRemer, she even received a pipe bomb threat. Yes, guys, a pipe bomb threat not long ago at her Happy Valley home. But much like our president-elect, she's not backing down at all, and she will not be intimidated by harassment. She said on X that this kind of violence harms not just the intended targets, but entire communities, that it is an unacceptable way to express opposition, and it will not deter President Trump and the team that he assembled from doing work on behalf of the American people. Now, honestly, guys, I've heard from some people from Oregon where she served as Congresswoman. They say that she did a great job there, and she's going to do great as a part of Trump's incoming administration. Yet another strong, intelligent woman that our president-elect is bringing into his team. Here, check it out.
From the Trump-Vance transition team there, that they have announced the nomination of Congresswoman Lori Chavez-DeRemer as Secretary of Labor. Trump says, "I'm proud to hereby nominate Congresswoman Lori Chavez-DeRemer from the great state of Oregon as the U.S. Secretary of Labor. Lori has worked tirelessly with both business and labor to build America's workforce and support the hardworking men and women of America. I look forward to working with her to create tremendous opportunity for American workers to expand training and apprenticeships, to grow wages and improve working conditions, to bring back our manufacturing jobs. Together, we will achieve historic cooperation between business and labor that will restore the American dream for working families." Now, if you're not familiar with Chavez-DeRemer, she served one term in Congress, and there she is. You recognize Sean O'Brien, the Teamsters Union president, with President-elect Donald Trump. And so O'Brien with this, saying, "Thank you, Donald Trump, for putting American workers first by nominating Representative Lori Chavez-DeRemer for U.S. Labor Secretary. Nearly a year ago, you joined us for a Teamsters roundtable and pledged to listen to workers and find common ground to protect and respect labor." And that is Sean O'Brien's reaction. Of course, the Teamsters, remember, opted out of endorsing this presidential election cycle. So they neither endorsed Harris nor Trump. But Sean O'Brien, remember, got a speaking slot on night one of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee in July. Now,
I mean, that she came that close to winning in a blue state obviously says something, right? I mean, just look at Chavez-DeRemer in action right here, tearing down the Biden administration and calling for an energy independent America. Watch.
It's a pleasure to be before you as one of the majority makers, and as a mom, and as a business owner, and as a mayor. These issues matter. They matter to Oregonians, and they matter to Americans. Due to the poor energy policies, we've gone from energy independent to energy dependent, and that's what we want to avoid. And in order to do that, we have to have a plan. The Strategic Petroleum Reserve is intended for emergencies. Nearly 40% of the stockpile is now gone, the lowest level we've seen in 40 years. It was the largest drawdown in U.S. history. It's clear that Congress needs to act. The people who elected us expect us to have a plan. That's what mayors do. That's what congressional leaders do. Failing to do so leaves us vulnerable. Natural disasters and national emergencies in the future. We have to be prepared. The Strategic Production Response Act requires us a plan that Oregonians asked us to pay attention to, that Americans asked us to pay attention to. Domestic energy production, if the SPR is tapped for those non-emergency purposes. I'm very proud as a freshman legislator to co-sponsor this bill. It's an important step forward in restoring our energy security.
It was a whole supercut. I watched hers, and there were definitely some very interesting ideas brought up. I heard about how trades should be taught in high school and to get rid of temporary contract agencies. So what do you guys think about Chavez-DeRemer as labor secretary? Now, me, I just remember how David Aspen from Fox Business said that Trump's cabinet picks are really shaking up business.
So bottom line is he's hired a cabinet of folks who are in the shaking up business. These are people who have reworked companies, who have tried, as some people that have been working with us at Fox to do, to really try to shake up the bureaucracies that they're now going to try to change. So in order to shake up the government and make it work, and you got Elon and Vivek on the top trying to figure out what can be cut and what can't, what is necessary and what is not, separating the wheat from the chaff, they're going to do that. I have a great hope that they will succeed.
Right. And in dismantling, especially, Cheryl, those odious regulations we've talked about. I have a family business, a small business that's in the agricultural and the alcohol sectors. Nothing is more regulated than those. And the stymieing is so real. The amount of money that we have to hemorrhage in tithing to the government. But hopefully moving forward under this administration, it will be the dismantling of these regulations and the fostering of entrepreneurial and capitalist spirit.
Now, honestly, guys, it's just a shame that as Trump is assembling his team, they also have to worry about bomb threats and danger to their families, right? Chavez-DeRemer in Happy Valley, Oregon, their sheriff's office confirmed that it had to respond to a threat against the former congresswoman and soon to be Trump's labor secretary. And she's not the only one. The FBI said in a statement that it was aware of numerous bomb threats and swatting incidents targeting incoming administration nominees and appointees. Trump spokeswoman Carolyn Levitt, she had to speak out about it, actually. She said in a statement that several offices received violent, un-American threats ranging from bomb threats to swatting, basically prank calls that cause a large number of heavily armed police officers to show up at an address in order to respond to a non-existential threat. And this happened the week of Thanksgiving, so these incoming officials, they were with their families. So just imagine, you're supposed to be looking forward to some turkey and some time with your loved ones, but instead you're having to worry about your family's safety. I mean, what is our country turned into, right? Seriously, guys, I'm just glad that we're finally going to see some adults back in charge pretty soon. January 20th, you guys, don't miss it. We're counting down the days until President Trump's inauguration day, and the sky's the limit. So make sure you guys are always subscribed to the channel here, have your notification bell turned on, and hey, if you guys appreciate the content and the information that we're sharing so far, show the video some love, hit the like button, drop a comment down below. Also consider subscribing to the channel. Totally appreciate you guys. So President-elect Trump's pick for the pro-union labor secretary is something that's especially causing buzz in business circles. But we're really not surprised considering how Trump made history when Teamsters President Sean O'Brien spoke at the Republican National Convention in July. I guess it really just goes to show how the president-elect shows his gratitude for working class voters, delivering a strong turnout for him and the GOP. She has a solid pro-worker record that's way different from a lot of Trump's own in the past. So yeah, contrary to what liberals believe, our president-elect isn't afraid of having opposing voices inside of his cabinet. Now, just to prove my point, Chavez-DeRemer is just one of 5 House Republicans who supported the Protecting the Right to Organize Act, which is a bill that would expand workers' ability to unionize that Trump's White House advisors recommended he veto. She also backed the Public Service Freedom to Negotiate Act, legislation that shields public sector workers' ability to unionize, which conservatives have also chafed against. And she voted against a GOP effort to overturn a Biden administration labor rule related to workers' retirement savings. Even Teamsters President O'Brien couldn't hide his joy at the Chavez-DeRemer nomination. He immediately posted after the announcement how North America's strongest union is ready to work with you every step of the way. Same with other prominent voices in organized labor. American Federation of Teachers President Randy Weingarten, he even called Chavez-DeRemer's nomination significant, that her record suggests real support for workers and their right to unionize. Then again, you have the likes of AFL-CIO, a top U.S. labor federation, who just can't seem to be happy with any good news. They said it remains to be seen what she will be permitted to do as Secretary of Labor in an administration with a dramatically anti-worker agenda. Well, as long as they don't put blindfolds on nor actively fight against Trump's incoming administration, then they're definitely going to see the positive changes this MAGA era is going to bring for the working class. Am I right? So Chavez-DeRemer herself is the daughter of a Teamsters union member. One of my favorite quotes from her was from a House Education and the Workforce Committee meeting. She said that unions aren't the enemy of small businesses. They're a partner, even though she acknowledged that she is in the minority of her party that thinks that. During her 2024 House race, Chavez-DeRemer picked up the support of more than 20 local unions in her area. As House Speaker Mike Johnson put it, she's got more labor union endorsements than any Republican I've ever seen in my life. And like I've been saying, guys, enough with the hate, enough with the bomb threats and the swatting. Why don't they just let Trump do his job? Because although mainstream media doesn't like to talk about it, our president-elect and his agenda, it won an overwhelming majority in the Electoral College and the popular vote. The American people gave him both the Senate and the House too. Trump's mandate couldn't be clearer, and we the people support him 100%, or at least a majority of the 100 does. According to the latest CBS News YouGov survey, most Americans at 59% approve of President-elect Donald Trump's handling of his administration's transition back into the White House and are bullish about the next 4 years. That includes his cabinet selections. Health and Human Services Secretary-designate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. got the most positive reactions from poll respondents, with 47% ranking him as a good pick compared to 34% saying that he's not good. Secretary of State-designate Marco Rubio, he garnered 44% good to 25% not good. Director of National Intelligence designate Tulsi Gabbard scored 36 to 27, and Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth, he notched 33 to 28. The least favorable of the cabinet picks was former Representative Matt Gaetz, who ended up withdrawing as Trump's choice to serve as U.S. Attorney General over a sex scandal. He nabbed a 30% good to 38% not good rating. Now, of course, there's been a lot of controversies about Donald Trump's picks, but it does look like the public's already known who to listen to at 51%, saying that they believe that loyalty to Trump is an important prerequisite to the incoming president's political appointees. So we're just counting down about 50 days until Trump roars back into the White House, and people can't wait. About 23% of those surveyed described themselves as excited about what Trump will do as president, compared to 30% optimistic, 23% concerned, and 23% scared. Now, regarding the election outcome, 31% described themselves as happy with the results compared to 24% satisfied, 23% dissatisfied, and 21% downright angry. Now, I guess those are the liberals there. 44% of the respondents said that they believe that he will make food prices go down, compared to 35% who said that they expect costs to rise, and 21% said no change. And it's not just this poll, actually. Other polling has found similar voters approving of Trump's plan for the future. A Pew Research Center surveyed determined that 53% of Americans somewhat or strongly support his agenda, compared to 46% who disapprove. Another thing that Trump is going to tackle in his incoming administration, the deep state. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer commented as, when he said that our president-elect is nominating the right people for his second administration's cabinet, all of whom will work to end the control the deep state has on the U.S. government. Now, a big part of that is the FBI. Goodness knows how long the federal agency has been used to go after innocent people. So this is something that the incoming Trump administration is planning to reshape. Comer offered his support for the move. He said that the FBI's current leadership has made it stray from core mission of pursuing criminals to instead targeting anyone that they feel is a threat to their deep state supremacy. So here's the full quote from the House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. The days of the deep state are about to end under Donald Trump. now. He's put the right people in place at the Department of Justice, at the CIA, at the FBI, and I think this is what the American people voted for. They knew under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we've had a two-tiered system of justice in America. Juries across America have lost confidence in FBI testimony. Well, looks like MAGA team's coming through, guys. What do you guys say? Drop a quick yes in the comments down below. Hit the like button to show your support. And if you guys want even more hard-hitting updates like this one, join our YouTube community. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, tap that notification bell. That way you will get notifications as soon as we release new videos and content. And while you guys are waiting that, go ahead and check out our other videos here on the channel. We got a lot of amazing content, like this one recent one where we were talking about Kamala Harris' drunk Thanksgiving message and her fellow Democratic officials getting arrested for drunk driving. Oh yeah, and there's body cam footage on that one as well. And this is right after their party's landslide loss. Do Democrats have a drinking problem? This is exactly what we covered in our recent video, so definitely check that one out coming up. Anyway, I want to thank y'all so much for hitting the like button and subscribing. Check out this video coming up here or our playlist down below, and we'll see you guys on the next one.